right. We're back, Dave.
Hey, man, it's been a long time.
I know, we were outside. It's a beautiful day here in at the end of March. COVID is almost over with. Did you get your shot yet?
I had a shot of Crown. And
yeah, I have that all the time. Evidently, it's worked because I haven't gotten the virus. But I know Gordon's stoplights opened up. We're going to have the Festus Firecracker Festival. Everything's back on.
Wonderful, wonderful. I missed the car shows last year.
Oh, the car shows. Yeah. It just goes on and on and on. You know, one of my big passions is music.
I've heard that.
And I like all kinds of music. Where a lot of people, they got a lane and that's it. I love the old time country music. I like the new country music. I like arguing with people because to me, Eagles was always country music when they were rock and roll.
Right.
And now everything's kind of caught up to my line of thinking. If you listen to the Eagles in the 70s and you turn on WIL and some of these other things today,
fits in.
It fits in. But it's kind of left that traditional country music, the ones that told the stories, behind.
And I always loved the traditional country. I always did. Our band, when I was playing music, we played a little everything, though. You had to get the gigs.
Yeah.
But so we learned classic rock, learned the rock and blues and the blues along with the country, and so that's where I've been ingrained is in all those genres of music.
I mean, you haven't lived till you've been in Chicago, and you're like the only white guy in a blues bar, you know, and it's just the music, and everybody's so friendly, and you're hearing, you know. Are you listening to the words? Are you listening to the beat? And eventually, when it comes to a lot of the blues, you just have no choice but to listen to the words. Yeah. And even though it's got an upbeat, it's sad. Or when you go down to New Orleans and you listen to all the different influences, and it all meshes up. So it doesn't make sense to me to just like one genre. You got to kind of like it all.
I think it keeps you more rounded.
Yeah.
You know, keeping an open mind about other people's types of music. And the only thing I really can't get into is the rap stuff. But
yeah.
You know, but I mean, I guess there's a pretty good market for it.
Well, I mean, I think you're not that demographic, but at the same time, it all kind of fits in. And I don't like all rap, but there's some of the stuff that I really do enjoy. And to me, the rap is a form of the blues, where they're trying to talk through and tell you the story.
Yeah.
But I don't play the guitar or the banjo or the fiddle, and I see all this stuff, so I'm guessing I mean, how do you even know what guitar to grab and what amp to plug it into? Does it make a difference?
It depends, on the song and the occasion and stuff. If I'm going to do a country rock or rockabilly or something like that, I'll use an electric guitar like the Strat up there, the white Strat.
Right.
The Dobro is more for like, you can play country, bluegrass on that.
Yeah.
The acoustics can kind of go either way, but that's mostly a lot of country and bluegrass.
Right.
Acoustic guitars. So there's different sounds. I play the harmonica, and with the harmonica I can, get into the country or the rockabilly or rock, blues, any of that stuff. Blues is fun on the harp.
Right.
I've even been at a place one night, they had 4 different bands playing and they were playing bluegrass.
Yeah.
And I played harmonica with every one of them. They really enjoyed it, so you can make it work,
I mean, just being at the beach or out by a campfire. I mean, Linda's, my cameraman wife, her father played the harmonica.
Okay.
And the guitar and stuff. And it's one of those skills that even if you haven't done it in a long time, it doesn't take long to pick it back up.
And I've had people say, "Can you teach me how to play the harmonica?"
Right.
I just learned on my own and kept working with it. And I play a blues harp style.
Okay.
And so if you're playing in like a D harmonica, you would back that up and you're playing it in A.
All right.
And that's the way I play it. But it works,
right? So you're pretty much born and raised everything here in Jefferson County?
Yes, pretty much. I grew up a little bit, during the summer months and stuff like that down in Old Mines, Washington County. I got a lot of relation down there. Yeah. Country people, they grew up hunting and playing music and all those good things, fishing.
Well, I did get TV reception down here, so everybody had to learn something to do. I mean, I always joke we had 3 TV stations, and we had 4 when I lived in Festus, and we moved to St. Francis County, and I had 3.
Yeah.
we couldn't pick up the UHF station down there. And if the president talked, then there was nothing to do the whole night. I think the people that could play music and the families that were musically inclined gave you something else to do that I'm jealous of now because I never learned how to do it. And I absolutely love it. I bought all the tapes and everything. I learned how to play the guitar. I don't have this many guitars, but I got several guitars. I don't even know how to put a string on a guitar because I break the strings. I got to go buy a new guitar. So
good excuse. I got to remember that.
But you've met a lot of people through the years.
Yes, we have. We've been fortunate. A lot of the bands I played in had some really good pickers, and we opened up for a lot of stars. Been on their buses and talked to them, and really get to meet people. I mean, from Waylon Jennings to Charlie Daniels, Marty Stewart. I was this John Conley. There's just been so many, and they've all been a lot of fun. You know, most of them just down to earth people.
Right.
Charlie Daniels, one of the greatest guys you ever want to meet. He was a patriotic person and a religious person. I mean, he had his convictions, and what a musician, you know. And so meeting people like that was just kind of like icing on the cake. You know?
So I got to bring up a name. We talked and chatted and everything, but I didn't bring up this name because there was somebody who I felt was a big star, and it was a woman when it was hard to be a big star as a woman. And I don't hear anything from her anymore. Maybe she died several years ago. I don't know. Barbara Mandrell.
No, she's still around.
She was like, I don't want to say she was bigger than Dolly Parton, but I'm telling you, Barbara Mandrell was everywhere. She played every instrument. I think she even played the bagpipes.
They had their own TV show, her sisters, and we used to watch that regularly. She was played steel guitar. She played everything.
Well, we would go to Branson, and wherever we stayed, one of her sisters had a little girl that was the same age as our daughter, and they would play at the swimming pool. But that was, 28 years ago, so it's probably been about that long since I've really heard. I don't know, maybe she's still out there and I'm just missing it. Or maybe country westerns.
I feel a lot of them, they get to in that comfy zone to where they haven't been playing out due to health reasons or something, and they get laid back and they start enjoying retirement, and then it's like, I don't think I want to hit that road as like I used to, and so they settle into their ranch or wherever they're at, and they just enjoy life.
We were down in Branson, and Ricky Skaggs was playing, and I really liked Ricky Skaggs' music, but Ricky was having a tough day. And Ricky Skaggs comes out, and he decides to preach and not play any of his music. And about 20 minutes into it, people started leaving. And then out comes Glenn Campbell. And took him off the stage.
Really?
Yeah. And then Glenn Campbell, and like, is this part of the show? Because it was really pretty bad. I didn't pay this much money to be. I get told I'm no good every Sunday. I don't need it on a Friday night. Glenn Campbell comes out, and he has no idea what to do. And he just walks over and starts picking something up and starts playing. And I'm telling you what, at the end of the concert, probably the biggest standing ovation I've ever seen anybody get was Glenn Campbell. And he left and came back like 5 minutes later and played Amazing Grace on the bagpipes. And then it came back, and then he left, and everybody was leaving, and then he comes back out again, and he wasn't even supposed to be there. But I got to interrupt. Then we got to see Ricky Skaggs with Ry Cooder. In Nashville at the not that big auditorium, but the new one where they do Nashville.
Sure.
And it was the second time I seen Ricky. He didn't say a word. Wow, what an entertainer when he's not talking.
He can play. He's a good player, good singer. I suppose he does some songwriting.
Oh, I'm sure he does that.
A lot of them guys like songwrite. It's hard to get a song into them. I've been songwriting for I don't know how many years. I got like 350 songs or something like that I've wrote.
Okay, 350 songs. Now, do you copyright all of them? Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And that can't be cheap.
Well, it's not too bad. There's certain ways that copyright office will accept them, and so you can put several of them on a disc and then send that in.
All right.
And so it's not too bad that way, but it's it is interesting. I used to shotgun songs all over Nashville. Several of us did. And all these publication companies would get them and stuff, and you know, sometimes you would hear a song that came out on the radio 6 months later, and it's, man, that sounds like the song I had pitched to them. You know? and so you don't know for sure, you know, what happened there. Did they ride around it? You know.
Yeah.
So we kind of quit doing that. You
Yeah.
know, and
Music industry is kind of notorious for doing those things.
Yeah.
So.
And you hated to believe that, you know, but as a songwriter, you got to take a chance because it's hard enough.
Right.
Getting anything heard by anybody in Nashville.
So if you write a song, is it basically a poem?
When you write a song, I've been to you know, schooling on this and in a lot of different places in Nashville and around. And Damon Black down at Mineral Area College, I studied under him for about 12 weeks. But when you sit down to write a song and you got a good, strong idea, everything has been wrote about.
Right.
I mean, everything. So you have to say it in a different, unique way.
Right.
And so doing it's kind of like writing a letter to somebody.
Okay.
But making it rhyme.
All right.
You know? And then you can apply music to it, or you may even have the music in mind first.
Right.
But it all works if you stay with it long enough, you practice your songwriting craft, they start coming around.
Right.
You know.
So when you're getting it copyrighted, you've got the words, and then you're also kind of copywriting the musical composition
itself.
at the same time.
Well, the words mainly is what you're
Okay.
going for, because it's kind of hard to copyright the music in a way. You know, if you listen to some songs today, they sound exactly like something if you heard.
Oh, well, it's impossible for
Yeah.
it not to.
It's hard to do. It's really hard.
And then if you watch like The Voice, they'll take a song and completely strip it down, like I don't know, a Megadeth song, and it turns into an acoustical song. And I'm like, well, I kind of liked it before, but I think I like it this way better. So, well, it's a great hobby. How many minutes are we up to, cameraman?
12.
We're way over. I thought it was like 5 or 6 minutes and went that fast. All right. Hey, for those of you that stayed through the whole video, I love talking to people. I've known you forever, but I did know that you did music. Mm-hmm. I didn't know all the other stuff. Like you got to drive one of the big trucks. I'd have gone down and figured out how to ride on one of them big trucks. Have to have a crane get me up it and have a crane get me down.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming by.
Yeah.
It's been fun and
yeah.
enjoyed it, and yeah.